There was a moment, barely 3 seconds long, when a woman picked up a sleeveless dress, smiled softly at herself in the mirror, and then quietly placed it back on the rack. No one stared at her. No one whispered. No one told her she was too old. But one quiet thought did what no stranger ever could. My arms aren't what they used to be. And just like that, another summer outfit disappeared before it ever had the chance to become a memory. The surprising truth is that sleeveless dresses have never been the real problem. The real problem is the story so many women have been telling themselves for years. A story that quietly grows louder with every birthday, every magazine cover, and every glance in the fitting room mirror. If you've ever hesitated before wearing something you genuinely loved because of your arms, this video is for you. Not because I'm going to tell you to ignore your insecurities, and not because I'm going to pretend they don't exist. Instead, we're going to do something far more useful. We're going to replace fear with strategy. You'll discover 7 surprisingly simple ways to wear sleeveless dresses after 60 that have nothing to do with having perfect arms and everything to do with balance, confidence, and the little styling decisions that completely change how you feel the moment you walk out the door. Because life isn't waiting for perfect arms, and neither should your favorite dress. Before we talk about dresses, let's talk about something almost every woman has done without even realizing it. You stand in front of the mirror, you turn a little to one side, then the other. You lift your arm, you lower it again. Maybe you even wave it gently, just to see how it moves. And somewhere in the middle of that quiet little routine, you've already made your decision. Not today. The dress never had a chance. Here's what fascinates me. Most women don't reject sleeveless dresses because of what other people have said. They reject them because they've become their own toughest audience. They examine their arms with a level of attention that no one else ever will. And this is where most women get it completely wrong. The people you meet at lunch, the friend waiting for you at church, the cashier at the grocery store, the family member opening the front door. None of them are studying your upper arms the way you are. They're taking in the whole picture. Your smile, your posture, the color that brightens your face, the confidence in the way you carry yourself. Human beings naturally remember impressions, not tiny imperfections. Think about the last time someone looked absolutely elegant. Can you honestly remember what the back of her arms looked like? Probably not. You remember the feeling she left behind. This sounds like a small shift, but it changes everything. Instead of asking, "Do my arms look good enough?" try asking, "Does this dress make me feel like myself?" Those are 2 completely different questions, and they lead to completely different lives. The first keeps you standing in front of the mirror, the second gets you out the front door. So the next time you try on a sleeveless dress, don't audition your arms. Let the dress tell the story. Let your presence finish it. Because confidence doesn't begin when your body changes. It begins when your attention does. And once you stop inspecting every inch of yourself, something else starts to matter, much more than your arms ever could. Have you ever noticed something interesting? When someone walks into a room looking effortlessly elegant, you don't know where your eyes go first. You just know they don't go everywhere at once. That's because our eyes naturally look for a focal point. Every outfit tells the eye where to begin. And once you understand that, getting dressed becomes much less about hiding and much more about guiding. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Many women spend years trying to make their arms less noticeable. Stylists often do the exact opposite. They simply give people something even more beautiful to notice first. A graceful neckline, a pair of sculptural earrings, a soft silver necklace that catches the light, beautifully styled hair, a lipstick shade that brings warmth back to the face, a dress in a color that makes your eyes look brighter. None of these things erase your arms. They don't need to. They quietly change the conversation. Imagine 2 women wearing nearly identical sleeveless dresses. The first chooses no accessories, leaves her hair flat against her face, and wears a color that washes out her complexion. The second wears the same style of dress, but she adds elegant earrings. Her hair has a little movement. Her neckline feels open. Her dress brings life to her skin. People won't describe her by saying, "She has nice arms." They'll say, "She looked beautiful today." Do you hear the difference? One comment is about a body part. The other is about an entire presence. That's the goal. Style after 60 isn't about winning tiny battles with individual features. It's about creating harmony. Not trendy, not flashy. just intentional. The next time you reach for a sleeveless dress, ask yourself one simple question. Where do I want someone's eyes to land first? Answer that question well, and your arms will no longer feel like the headline. They'll simply become one small part of a much more beautiful story. And once you discover how powerful balance can be, you'll realize the fabric itself may be doing far more than you ever imagined. Let's try a different experiment. Forget the mirror for just a moment. Instead, picture yourself walking through a farmer's market on a warm Saturday morning. The air smells like fresh flowers and peaches. Someone is playing music a little farther down the street. You pause to laugh with a friend. A soft breeze catches the hem of your dress. Your hair moves just enough. You smile without thinking about it. Now answer me honestly. In that moment, were you thinking about your arms, or were you simply living your life? This is something fitting room mirrors can never teach you. A mirror shows a frozen image. Life never does. The women who seem effortlessly elegant aren't beautiful because they stand perfectly still. They're beautiful because they move naturally through the world. Their dress moves, their smile moves, their expression changes, their confidence becomes part of the outfit. And this is where so many women accidentally judge themselves unfairly. They make permanent decisions based on temporary poses. Shoulders pulled back, arms lifted, body twisted under bright dressing room lights that flatter almost no one. Then they decide, I guess sleeveless dresses just aren't for me anymore. But that's not how anyone will ever see you. The people who love you will see you reaching across the dinner table, walking beside them on vacation, holding a grandchild's hand, greeting friends before church, stepping outside on the first truly warm afternoon of spring. Those are moving moments, not frozen ones. This sounds simple, but it changes everything. Don't judge a dress by how it looks while you're standing still. Judge it by how it feels when you're living your life. Because elegance has never been about perfect stillness. It's about natural movement. And once you begin seeing yourself the way life sees you, you'll discover that the fabric touching your skin may matter far more than the skin itself. Have you ever worn a dress that looked beautiful on the hanger, but somehow felt completely different the moment you put it on? Most women assume the problem is their body. Very often, it isn't. It's the fabric. This is one of those quiet styling secrets that rarely gets enough attention. The right fabric doesn't fight your body. It works with it. It follows your movement instead of clinging to every curve. It creates softness where you want softness, and structure where you need structure. Think about the difference between a dress made from a lightweight matte crepe and one made from a thin, shiny synthetic fabric. Both may have the same cut. Both may even be the same color, but they tell completely different stories. One moves with quiet elegance. The other catches every wrinkle, every fold, every beam of light. Not because your body changed, because the fabric changed. That's why women who always seem effortlessly polished often pay more attention to texture with trend. They know that beautiful fabric can make an ordinary dress feel extraordinary. Imagine you're packing for a weekend getaway. You have room for only one sleeveless dress. Would you choose the one that constantly needs adjusting, or the one that falls naturally into place every time you walk? The answer seems obvious. Yet so many women keep blaming themselves instead of questioning the dress. Here's a simple rule worth remembering. If you're pulling, tugging, smoothing, or adjusting your dress every few minutes, your confidence is quietly leaving with every movement. A well-made fabric lets you forget you're even wearing it. And that's exactly what confidence feels like. It doesn't demand your attention. It gives your attention back to the people you're with. So the next time you shop for a sleeveless dress, don't ask only, does this look good on me? Ask something even smarter. Does this fabric allow me to relax? Because the most elegant woman in the room is rarely the one wearing the most expensive dress. She's usually the one who looks completely at ease inside it. And once your dress begins working with your body instead of against it, you'll stop chasing perfection and start dressing for the life that's waiting outside your front door. May I ask you a gentle question? When you say, my arms don't look the way they used to, compared to when? 5 years ago? 20? 30? Sometimes without realizing it, we're asking today's body to compete with yesterday's memories. And memories are almost impossible to beat. Because memories are edited. They keep the laughter, the vacations, the photographs, the compliments. But they quietly erase the ordinary days, the moments when we felt insecure back then too. Here's something I've learned after talking with so many women over the years. Very few of them actually miss younger arms. What they truly miss is the freedom they used to feel. The freedom to get dressed without overthinking, to walk into a room without adjusting every sleeve, to say yes to the invitation instead of wondering what to wear. That's what they're really grieving. Not their arms, their ease. And this is where everything begins to change. Your body isn't failing because it no longer looks 40. It's succeeding at being 60. A body that has carried groceries, packed moving boxes, held babies, comforted friends, worked hard, laughed until it hurt, and kept showing up through every season of life. Why should that body be expected to look untouched? Perhaps those softer arms aren't evidence that you've lost something. Perhaps they're quiet proof that you've lived. This sounds simple, but it has the power to change the way you open your closet tomorrow morning. Don't dress to impress the woman you were. Dress to honor the woman you've become. Because she's wiser, kinder, more interesting, and far more comfortable in her own story than she often gives herself credit for. The goal after 60 isn't to wear the clothes your younger self could wear. It's to wear the life your younger self hadn't lived yet. And once you stop measuring yourself against old photographs, you'll discover that confidence has been waiting for you in the present all along. There's a myth many women have believed for years. One day, when I feel more confident, I'll wear that dress. It sounds reasonable, but life has a funny way of proving the opposite. Confidence rarely knocks on your door first. More often, it catches up with you after you've already stepped outside. Think about the last time you tried something that made you nervous. Maybe it was traveling alone, starting a new hobby, walking into a room where you didn't know anyone. You probably didn't feel confident beforehand. You felt uncertain, maybe even a little afraid. But then something happened. A conversation, a smile, a kind word from a stranger. And suddenly, the thing that felt impossible just an hour earlier became completely ordinary. Getting dressed works the same way. Waiting to feel perfectly confident before wearing a sleeveless dress is a little like waiting to become a strong swimmer before getting into the water. It almost never happens that way. Sometimes all it takes is one ordinary afternoon, lunch with a friend, a walk through your favorite neighborhood, dinner with family. You wear the dress. No one reacts the way your fears predicted. No one counts the lines on your arms. No one whispers. Instead, someone smiles and says, "You look wonderful today." Not because your arms changed overnight, because your energy did, because you looked comfortable, present, relaxed, and fully yourself. That first compliment isn't really what changes you. It simply confirms what was already true. You were ready long before you believed you were. So don't wait for confidence to arrive before opening your closet. Let your courage open it instead. The confidence will quietly meet you somewhere between your front door and wherever the day decides to take you. Because some of life's happiest memories begin with a decision that felt just a little uncomfortable. And the final step has nothing to do with your dress at all. It has everything to do with what you're finally willing to leave behind. Before you leave the house tomorrow morning, I'd like you to try something. Not a new dress, not a different hairstyle, not another shopping trip. Just one small decision. Choose one insecurity and leave it at home. Maybe it's your arms. Maybe it's your knees. Maybe it's the little voice that keeps whispering, "People will notice." Let it stay behind for one afternoon. Just one. Take the dress. Take your smile. Take your plans. But don't take that unnecessary weight with you. Here's the beautiful thing. The world is far too busy living to spend as much time judging you as you imagine. People are thinking about their own families, their own worries, their own grocery lists, their own lives. Meanwhile, you've been carrying an invisible suitcase filled with doubts that nobody asked you to bring. How much lighter would your day feel if you simply set it down? Not forever, just for today. Because today becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes a habit. And habits quietly become a new way of living. Imagine looking back at this summer a year from now. Will you remember whether your arms looked exactly the way you wanted? Probably not. But you will remember the dinner that lasted longer than expected. The vacation photo that made everyone laugh. The walk at sunset. The unexpected compliment. The hug that came without warning. Those are the moments that stay. Not the insecurities you almost let keep you home. So wear the sleeveless dress. Not because your arms have finally become perfect, but because your life has never needed them to be. The years ahead deserve memories, not hesitation. And sometimes, the bravest thing a woman can wear isn't confidence. It's permission. Permission to stop waiting. Permission to stop apologizing. Permission to enjoy the season she's living in, exactly as she is. If there's one thing I hope you remember after today, it's this. A sleeveless dress has never been a test. It has never measured your worth. It has never decided whether you were beautiful enough. Only people do that. And far too often, the hardest judge has been the one waiting in the mirror. The truth is, style after 60 has very little to do with perfect arms. It has everything to do with showing up for your own life. Choosing the dinner invitation, taking the vacation, stepping into the family photo instead of offering to take it. Saying yes to the warm afternoon instead of waiting for a different body. Because life has a quiet habit of moving forward. Seasons change, children grow, grandchildren grow even faster. And one day, you'll flip through old photographs. I promise you this. You won't stop at a picture and think, I wish my arms had looked different. You'll think, I'm so glad I was there. Nobody keeps a photo album filled with perfect arms. They keep one filled with perfect moments. So wear the dress. Laugh a little louder. Stay at the table a little longer. Say yes a little more often. Because those are the things that become memories. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've stopped wearing over the years? Not because you no longer loved it, but because you started doubting yourself. Share your answer in the comments. Your story may be exactly what another woman needs to hear today. And if this conversation reminded you that style is about living, not hiding, I hope you'll join us again. Here, we don't dress to look younger. We dress to live more fully. Until next time, take good care of yourself. And don't leave your favorite dress waiting for another summer.